Hey, Venkat.
Yeah, right. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, right. Yeah. So I think now you can see my screen as well.
I can, yes.
Okay. So in the last class, how to create a legal entity. While creating a legal entity, what are all the things we should have to consider? Because this software will support multi-localization, multiple entities, multi-currency, multi-language. So based on those setups and configuration, country-specific functionality will be enabled so that we can use. That concept is clear, right?
Right.
Yeah. So today we will go and discuss about the next topic. Once if you can go to the organization administration, and if you join in the middle of the organization, if you would like to know what is the entity or in which country specific that entity it has been created, if you would like to know that, you should have to go to the organization administration under the organization and then legal entity. Once if you can go to here, you can see this one, what we have created, Dynamics Global Edge LLP in USA. If you can go and see address, there you can find address, it has a USA, the purpose is business, and primary is yes, where the primary is S, country specific, that country we have selected while creating a legal entity. It is meaning and the primary indication on here. You can create as many as addresses you want to have as per the business requirement, but only one address you can make it as a primary. You cannot make it more than one address as primary on here.
Okay.
So that point is clear, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. And then we do have a number sequence, which is very important. If you can see in each and every module, we used to see number sequences on here. If we can come to here, we can see the number sequence. Why this number sequence Microsoft is using the architecture means this software will support multiple entities, multiple companies. When you want to segregate data from one company to another company, Microsoft have developed concept of number sequence. By using the number sequence, it will be segregated. Let us take Microsoft. The Microsoft organization, they are running in India global. For each and every country, they used to register many companies. In India itself, Microsoft, it has 9 companies registered in Ministry of Corporate Affairs. Why? Because so for each entity, it has the different purpose. Even government also will give you some incentives where if you are going to do a business in specified area like SEDS, special economic zone, where it has backward states to developing those states specific, government will encourage. At the same time, government will give you some amount where you are going to invest on the development and research and development side. For that, it has registered. For each and every country in India, we have a controlling body called MCA, Ministry of Corporate Affairs. At the same time, for each and every country will have the same, but the name might be different out here. If you can go to that website, you can find, that company, how many legal entities it has registered within the country level. Right, how to check in India whether the company is registered or not. If it is registered, how many companies it has, if it is the MNC companies or not.
No, I don't.
Yeah, let me show you that one. Once if you can go to MCA, GOV. So here you can find, Ministry of Corporate Affairs, especially uh, MNCs and listed companies. They used to register, their names as a trademark so that no one cannot use that name. If it is the Microsoft, Microsoft only can use that word. If it is the Reliance only can use, no one cannot use that word. Okay. If you want to know the Microsoft, simply enter the Microsoft word. And then if you can click on search, here you can find how many companies it is registered. Now you can see this one, a Microsoft Corporate that was started in 1988 in Delhi, Microsoft Global Service in 2005, Microsoft Global, Microsoft India R&D Telangana Hyderabad that was in 1998, and Microsoft Marketing and Service West Bengal 99, Microsoft Mobile India Private Limited. I think that was acquired. Nokia was acquired by Microsoft, right? So that was in 2014. Microsoft Research Lab, which is in Delhi based in 2004. Microsoft Technology, which is in 2019, 1990, and Microsoft Telecom India Private Limited and Microsoft Meta. These two names have registered, and it is going to start the business as well, because Microsoft is going to entering into the telecom industry. They are going to develop the telecom industry specific softwares, and they had a business understanding with the Meta, which is in Facebook and Microsoft. So they're jointly working on the advertisement side, the revenue sharing and other. This is a joint venture. So these two know it is. These are all companies. Microsoft itself, it is registered in India. In India itself, it has 9 companies. Like for each and every country, they used to have, it may be more or it may be less. On an average, if you can go and see Microsoft, they might have 400 or 500 companies. It will be there, right? So these companies who are working in India, it should not be no access what they are doing in US. So to segregating the data, Microsoft have used the concept called number sequences. So you should have to generate one-time number sequence so that the system what it will do will go and check what are all the numbers it has been generated so far, what will be the next number is available, and what is the number sequences is required for DG01 entity. We'll check and we'll update it up there. Okay. So in interviews, sometimes may ask how you can check whether legal entity have generated number sequences or not. When they ask such kind of questions, you can check by going through any module. Let us say I'm going to the accounts payable, and then there you can see the option called, and here you can see this setup and parameters. For each and every module, you can see a parameters. By going through the parameters, each and every parameter in the bottom there you can find number sequence tab. By clicking on the number sequence tab, here you can find number sequences. If number sequences is updated, it means for this entity, the number sequence has been generated. If it is not updated, so we should have to go and generate number sequences on here. So the question is clear, right? How to identify whether number sequence is generated or not. If they ask how to check the number sequence. Clear? Dinesh, are you there?
Hmm?
Yep. Now let's go and generate the number sequence. When you want to
Yes.
generate the number
Go.
sequence,
Yes.
yeah, go to your organization administration and then click on number sequences. Click on number sequences. Here you can see this one, a list of numbers the system already generated and assigned to the different entity. Here you can see this test underscore 100, that number sequence was assigned GLSA entity. 101, which was assigned for INMF entity. For 102, it was assigned ITC. So once if you click on generate, the system will start to check how many numbers it has been generated so far, and what are all the entities it is using, how many number sequences is required for DG01 entity. Those numbers will
Okay.
be assigned. If it is already used, the same number sequence it won't be used. the system will not accept duplicated numbers, and it is continuation number will be generated on here. So which is an very big task for the system to check what are all numbers it has been used. For that, it may take more time. More time in the sense, depending on your hardware configuration, it will be determined. For me, I'm using the configuration of, if you can see, on here, there you can find 16 GB RAM, i7 processor, 512 SSD. Okay, this is for
Right.
learning purpose. If you are going to use in your server, that server will be Gian processor, 100 plus GB will be installed RAM, and SSD, it will be there. So there you can be, your servers, it will be in the real time. Speed will be very good. So now you can see this one, what the system is saying. This wizard help you to create the required number sequence in your application setup. Application determine which number sequence haven't been specified and included only those in this list. It means already if system is generated or if you created manually and if it is assigned, those number sequences it want to be taken. You can choose to accept an application proposed setup of each of the unspecified number sequence. The system is going to propose. If it is okay, you can use. Or if your client end, if it has any concern like, then is we want, if it is the vendor payment, VPAY. If it is the customer payment, CPYY. By seeing the voucher series, we want to identify what is this transaction you have posted. So when they came such kind of the requirement, specific number sequence, you can create a new and you can assign. Or if you don't have any such kind of specification or requirement, then the system will propose the same you can use. You can also choose to change names, values, other setups, parameters before application creating your number sequences. System will propose. If
Okay.
you are happy, your client is okay, you can use proposed one. Or if client is proposed a new specific things so that you can create as per the client requirement and the same you can assign it as well. Okay.
Okay.
So now you can simply click on next. Here you can see this one. The system is going to assign for accounts payable for vendor account is going to use ACC 24994 is going to use for vendor account. And this is the format it is going to be. By seeing DG01, 000001, it is very difficult to identify by seeing this voucher number, what is the uses where it has used, right? Suppose if your client
Right.
is came and is asking you, no, Dinesh, we want vendor account means starting with VA and that should be specified. If they came, what you can do that, you can delete the specified number sequences. And then you can simply click on next. And then you can finish. You can see this one for accounts payable, it has generated 112. For account receivable, it is 107. For each and everything, what all the number sequences is going to generate, it will show you on here. Once if you click on the finish, for the required number sequence, it will be updated. As I told you in earlier, how we can able to check whether number sequence is updated or not, right? If you can go to any module, accounts payable, let's go. Click on setup, accounts payable parameters. And here you can see this one number sequence tab. If you can see all the numbers is updated except vendor account. Why that the vendor account was not built in the number sequence tab? Any idea?
Oh no. Sorry.
Because we have deleted while generating the number sequence. And my client is asking me, it should start vendor account in the sense VA. In that case, what you can do, you can simply take the right click and click on view details and then click on new. Here you can maintain here vendor account.
I see.
So simply company uh, DG01. So your client is asking starting with DG01, right? Sorry,
Right.
VA, right? So you can remove this one. You can update it. If it is really required 9 digit, let it keep it. If it is not required, really 9 and 6 digit is enough. You can take the 6 digit. Come to here, select continuously and remove these three. It should be the same where how many digits you have,
6 digits.
and then
Okay.
simply click on save. Now you can close it. You can update as VA vendor account. Once if you update it, and then simply click on save, and then you can come back. When you are
I
going to create,
see.
sorry, do you have any questions?
No, I don't. Thanks.
Yeah. Once if you can come to all vendors, when you are going to create a new vendor, the system will propose starting with VA. Just I'm giving an example. Just click on new. I'm trying to create. You can see this one. System was proposed. VA
Right.
vendor account 000001. Okay.
Okay.
So
Makes
this is
sense.
the
Makes sense.
way, yeah, for a majority of the time where we are going to post the journals. So absolutely client will tell you this is in a specific format so that we should have to create as per our client requirement. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So once if it is completed, the number sequence generation part. Now let's go and discuss about organization hierarchy. Basically, who are using ERP application, majority of companies used to have more than one legal entity. Okay, who are having only one company, those companies may not prefer to use like softwares like ERP, Microsoft Dynamics or Oracle, SAP, such kind of softwares it won't prefer to use. Why? Because the license cost, it will be around 10 millions Indian rupees, and the implementation cost, it will go to 10 to 20 millions. And every month, for each user level, you have to pay $50 for each users. And if it is a super users, you should have to pay $75. These are all, very expensive things for small companies. Okay,
Right.
who are having very large and very complex business who are running. For them, it is required to centralize, each and everything. For them, will prefer to use ERP applications like SAP, Oracle, Dynamics, such kind of companies. ERPs will be used. So when you are having more than one company, you should have to represent what is your parent company, who is your child companies, who is sister concern companies, what are all joint ventures you are having. These are all the things you can create an hierarchy. When we are listening, when we are hearing about the Reliance Industries Limited, RIL, what we used to think, it might be only one. But in the reality, if you can go and see Ministry of Corporate Affairs as a Reliance, it has registered more than 200 plus companies registered. If you would like to see, just go to here and enter it as Reliance and search. Once if you search, this Reliance name can be used only Reliance Group companies. As you can see this one, how many companies it is registered. For each page, it has the note 10. And if you can go to the last, there you can see this one. It means 2010, just 200 companies it has registered.
I
But
see.
but when they are going to publishing their financial report, it will be the only one company
Right. The
as
corporate.
consult. Yeah, as a consolidated no financial report, it will be. So when you are having such kind of very large, you should have to create, an hierarchy as well. Okay. So for that,
Oh,
you can go to your organization administration, click on organization, click on organization hierarchy. Here, the hierarchy may be, different purpose. One company might create for consolidation purpose. Another company might create for centralized invoicing purpose. Another company might create centralized payment purpose. The purpose, it might be different for each and every company level. So as per the client, if client came and say, yeah, we do have 200 plus companies. We want to make a consolidated financial statement for every month, for every quarter, for every year. Then you can tell, the same purpose here also. Simply click on new. Okay. And then
Okay.
enter, if it is the DGI grade, what I'm going to enter for your identification, DG Dynamics Global Edge, consolidation,
Okay.
finance consolidation. You can update it. Okay. Once if you update, and then there you can find option called view. Simply click on view. Here, simply click on edit. Once if you click on edit, there you can find, insert. Here, if you would like to create an hierarchy for company level, you can select, legal entity. Or if you want to create department hierarchy, who is, first and who will be, second, who will be the third, you can select, department. If you want to use the cost center, you can use value stream, business unit, branch, rental location, regions, no retail channel. You can do it. This one, it has multi-purpose. This one you can use for your reporting purpose. This one it can be used for your workflows. This one it can use in your accounting structure as well. Suppose if you have a business requirement, first it should start with finance department approval, and then it should go with marketing approval, and then it should go to the IT department approval, and then it should go to the corporate KPA approvals. So when you have such kind of approval is required when you are going to perform a business process related, you should have to create a hierarchy in the department. First, you should have to select the finance, sales and marketing, IT, and corporate. Once if you create hierarchy and if you can use this hierarchy in your accounting structure or in your workflows, as per the hierarchy, the data it will flow and it will get the approval as well. Okay. So now
Okay.
we are discussing about the legal entity specific, company specific, right? So we will stick into the company only because this is a very big subject. We will take one example so that based on that one we can easily to understand. So what is my parent company? In our learning, my parent company is DG01, Dynamics Global 01. You can select as parent company. Okay. Under this, what are the companies you are having? You can simply click on it, click on insert, click on which one. Let us take if GLSI is subsidiary of DGIT. So DG01, you can simply select and click on OK. And if you're having one more company under this, like as Reliance Digital or Reliance Smart or Geo, uh, what it has the finance, we used to have different, right? You can add it. Okay, under this, if you're having now, you can simply select and click on OK. Under this, if it is under the GLSI, if you're having another entity, you can click on that and then you can click on insert and then you can select which one is working under this one. If you can click on this one, you can see this. Under this two entity it has. Under this, it has one more entity.
Okay.
Okay. This one you can use to use centralized invoicing and centralized payment as well. You might heard big corporate companies. One organization will provide the service. Within group company, another company will issue the invoice, and corporate company will receive the payment. Okay, that one you can manage by using this one. And we do have another option. Suppose if you are having four companies, out of only all the payments will make through Dynamics Global Edge 01, DG01. Even you can process the payment from only one company by using centralized. These three companies will provide the service. And if you want to write the centralized invoice, even you can write centralized invoice from DG01 as well. Okay.
Oh,
So once if you
okay.
create the yeah. Do
No,
you
go
have
ahead.
any?
No, I'm good.
Yeah. Do you have any? Sorry. If once if it is published, then you can simply click on publish button. There you can see. Please set an effective date for the changes in the hierarchy that is later than the 10/12/2023, means 12th of October 2023. Changes to an existing hierarchy must make effect later than the last saved effective date for the hierarchy. Earlier version of the hierarchy may not be modified. Suppose if you select as effective date is 1st January, okay, you can go to the Jan month and then you can select the first example. Here you can enter it version 01. Okay. And then you can
Yeah.
simply click on publish. Once if you publish it, the system will give you the information info log. This one we used to call it as a info log message. The hierarchy DG finance consolidation with an effective date of 1/1/2023 has been published. Now, if you know if your company added one more new legal entity, and that entity, if you want to add it, still you can add it. Okay. So how you can able to add, I'm going to show you. If new entity is added, and the same if you want to add in your hierarchy, you can simply come back by coming into the organization administration, organization, and here you can see this one under organization hierarchy. Simply click on DG financial consolidation and click on view. Here you can simply click on edit. Under this, if it is added one more company, simply select, click on it, click on insert, click on legal entity, and then you can select on this. So you can add, or if you want to remove, you can remove as well. This is purely depending on our business specification. Once if you added, if you want to publish with same date what we have published in the last time 1/1/2023, the system will not be allowed. You can see this one, simply click on. Now I'm going to version 02 publish. Now I'm getting an
What?
error message.
So you are trying to add another company after you have already published it.
Yeah, right.
Okay. So it won't allow you to actually add it because it has already been published for that date.
Because of it will be allowed, but it won't be allowed by publishing on the same date.
Yes. So
Yeah,
so what you were
yeah,
saying so what you were saying is you can do it for later date.
yes, exactly. If you want to add, you can add as many entities as added, but you cannot publish with same date. Okay, you should have to select 2nd of Jan 2023, it will be allowed. Now we can see this one giving a message. Hierarchy DG financial consolidation with an effective date of 2nd January 2023 has been published.
Okay.
Okay, this is the way you can create your hierarchy on here.
Okay.
Okay, now once if your hierarchy is completed and the number sequence is completed, now legal entity creation also completed. Once if it is completed, what you can do that, now you should have to go to your general ledger module and you should have to define what is your currency, what is your financial year for your fiscal calendar, what is the chart of account you are going to use all your business operations using purpose, what will be the your accounting currency, what will be the required for reporting currency. If you are having accounting currency, reporting currency, transaction currency different, how system where system now should get those exchange rate, we should have to define to start the transactional portion.
Okay.
Okay. So now let's go and decide on here. Once if you come back to your general ledger, there you can find currencies. So irrespective of your business, all businesses will be measured in the form of currency only, right? If you are going to sell in liters or kgs or whatever it is, or meters, whatever, the measurement might be different, but the way you are selling the product might be different, but the measurement it will be in the currency. So here you can find all your global currencies. By default in the system, it will be updated. Now, if you want to update any one of the currency specific, you can enter it. Suppose if I want to enter for dollar, what I can do, I can start with United. Sorry, start with my company, sorry, a country currency as USD. Once if you enter the USD, the system will get and will show you the USD on here. Here you can see this one. This is global currency code as USD. This is the name we are calling as US dollar, and this is the symbol it is going to use for US dollar. And here you can see this one symbol reference currency for triangulation. Here I'm trying to make it as, but the system will not accept it. See, the system throwing an warning message and stating currency euro is already selected as triangulation currency. You cannot select currency USD as triangulation currency. It means we already enabled for euro as triangulation currency. You cannot enable for US as triangulation currency. Before going to know why we have enabled euro is only triangulation, we'll discuss about what is triangulation currency. Europe, right? Euro,
Yeah,
it is not a currency for specific country.
right.
Euro is common for a group of countries.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah. So one currency, if you can go to the Germany, they're having their own currency. If you can go to the Finland, they're having their own currency. But their common currency is euro.
Yep.
So when they are going to translate from one currency to the another currency, there is a one common currency called euro. Here there is three currencies is using to translate from any one of the currency. That is the reason we used to call it as a triangulation currency.
Okay.
Okay. In so far, in entire global, only one currency we have a triangulation, that is euro. So we do not have any other currencies as euro. Okay, only one
Oh,
union it has, that is the euro. You might have a question. Okay, Venkat, now euro it has. In the future, if China, India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, if these five countries have formed as a union and if they have released one common currency called ABC, so at the time, how we can able to make it as triangulation currency? So in that case, by default, in existing software, it won't be support. When you have a such kind of new functionality requirement, the Microsoft itself will provide an update. Once if you can take an update, so then the system in the system itself, you can find ABC currency. There you can find triangulation options. From there, you can able to enable to use as triangulation currency. Until otherwise, Microsoft, if it is not provided, it cannot. But majority of the time, Microsoft will work for each and every country specification. And if country is going to change any one of the changes, so Microsoft also parallelly will work as per the government requirement and will do the development, will provide update. Once if you can update those functionality, those specific calculation and mechanism architecture, you can find in your application. And recently in India, it was introduced with the concept called GST. In earlier, we used to have different mechanisms like VAT, service tax, excess, customs. There we used to have different. Now it has only one tax called one nation, one tax as GST. When government have said it is going to implement from so and so date onwards, then Microsoft also will work on it and will give you those packages early. You can do a testing, you can configure it, you can do the calculation and whether it is working or not. If it is working in your test environment, then the same functionality you can move into your production and it can be used. Okay. So
okay.
no need to worry about that. Microsoft will be there up to date as per the market and country specification. If there is any changes, those changes will be provided. Okay. So once if it is completed, and here you can see this one, currency converter, online numerical conversion tool. By default, for US dollar, it has the symbol. It is not required. Some countries, even in India also, we do have the currency symbol. It is not required. Some countries, they might not have the currency symbol. And to identifying what is the transaction currency, if you would like to provide in the transaction level, whether it is going to use soft copy or hard copy, you can use the conversion factor. Once if you enable, it is an optional. Okay. Suppose
I see.
if it is the check, for each and every time that when check is going to print, it should be start with USD. USD means it is going to show you print in front of the amount in the selected currency if the conversion option is selected. Okay, how it will be there, I'm going to show you. If transaction amount is 12,500.65 cents, then the system will take the first one is the USD 1250.65. And if you would like to update the suffix as a slash hyphen, then the system will get update in this way slash hyphen. So these are all client will tell you whether they want to use or not,
Acha.
because majority of countries, US, UK, Europe, India, these countries now already having the currency symbol. And when there is a instrument in the bank transaction related, for each and every place, it will be mentioned what is the currency that specific instrument. If you would like to see checks in India, let us take HSBC. Okay, if you can click on images, here it will show you the symbol on here. You can see this one. If it is the GBPS, here you can see this one. If it is the dollar, here it is clearly mentioned payment of order, dollars, everything. If it is the Indian check, even Indian symbols also will be fine.
I see.
Okay, here you can see this one. We are having the symbol, right? Here you can see this one, HSBC, IFSC code, symbol, pay, amount in words, signature. These things, no, it will be show you on that one. If you don't have symbol, then if you want to print in the place of the symbol as USC, when you are going to give the print, the system will first will enter the prefix which you have updated in the application, that words or symbol, and then will enter the amount, and then later will enter the slash icon. So these are all majority of the time who are doing the trading in airports will be use this option. Why? Because suppose if I am traveling from India to US, in between there is a transit, like if it is the Dubai or Qatar or any other place. Okay. If I say I have a Indian rupees, if they are going to accept it, they will generate invoice in Indian rupees. If I have the euros, if I say I have the euros, they will generate in euro format. So that one will help to identifying by seeing the invoice, which is currency that are doing billing. Okay, is it
Okay.
clear? Do you have
Yes, it
any
is.
doubts of it? No, right?
No, I'm good. No, I'm good. Continue.
Yeah. So once if it is completed, then here you can see this one rounding tool. For India, we do not have any values for paisas, and we are not using at this moment as well. Those prices like 5 cents, sorry, 5 paisa, 10 paisa. You might be seen when you are in child. Have you seen those paisas? 10 paisa, 5 paisa, 20 paisa,
Yeah, 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 yeah. Of course, I
silver
have.
coins, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Good old days.
Yeah, at this moment, that is not in use. But when it comes to the digital payment, we can make the payment. But majority of the organization, they used to do rounding nearest to 1 rupee or nearest to 50 paisa. Okay, if they have such kind of requirement, we can make it. What is rounding it is required. For rupees, even Government of India also is stating that if you are going to pay income tax, they used to do rounding nearest to 100 rupees. If you are going to make uh, GST or such kind of the taxation, the government itself used to make nearest to 10 rupees. So when you have such kind of requirement, you can make it how the client is looking for that. Now, if my client came and asked it should calculate nearest to the 5 cents, then you should have to update as 0.05 for general ledger, for a sales order 0.05, for rounding method, for purchases 0.05, or price 0.05. Once if you updated this information, our system will calculate. I'm going to show you in Excel, sorry, or Notepad. If system is calculated
Okay.
as 1250.63, system will do the calculation of 1250.65. When if you select it as normal, okay, we do have another two options: downward and rounding up. If you select the downward, and if calculated amount is 1200 50.64, and if it is the downward system, what it will do, 1200, sorry, 64. Okay, system will calculate
251.
50.60 will be calculated. Why? Because you told the system it should downgrade nearest to what you have been mentioned at 0.05. If you can select rounding up, if calculated amount is 1250.61, even though system will calculate 1250.65. You are telling the system rounding up whatever the balance is no required, add those balance and update you are telling to the system.
I
Okay,
see.
it's purely depending on the client. You might heard about cashback, credit cards. When they are going to do calculation, how they will calculate? If you use your credit card 689, and if they are going to give 1% discount, they will give you only 6 rupees only.
I see.
And if they are going to charge as charges, if it is the 1% or 1.5 percentage, if calculated, sorry, we are into that. Yeah. If they are taking, if they are giving, if you use the credit card 689, they are going to give, cash point is 6 rupees or $6. Let us assume I'm telling in rupees. And if they are going to charge as 1%, and if you use your credit card for any payment places, in this case, they will charge 6.89 paisa. When they are going to give, they are giving only 6 rupees. When they are going to take, at the time they are taking 6 rupees 89 paise. And if they are going to do a rounding, they may take 7 paisa as well. So however it is required your business, the same way you can deploy.
I
You
see.
can self-configure it. Okay. Suppose
Okay.
you are going to raise the invoice to the customer. If you would like to do always rounding up, you can select it. If you are going to buy from the vendor, if you would like to make it downward, you can make it the downward as well.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, this is one. And the second on here, you can see this one, currency gender. So for an entire global, there is no gender for currency except Spain. If you are going to work on ERP application on Microsoft, if it is the Spain, you should have to check with your client which one you are going to use, whether you are going to use feminine or masculines you are going to use. We should have to check with our client and accordingly we need to select it.
I see.
Other than Spain, No need to discuss with anyone. Let it be by default as feminine. Okay.
Okay.
And the next tab on here, you can see this one, electronic invoices. Nowadays, majority of all countries who are developed or developing to avoiding fraudulent activities using electronic invoice. When you are going to use electronic invoice, if there is a variance in the process of exchange rate, up to what amount it can be acceptable, we should have to tell the system. Okay. So why variance will come also I'm going to tell. Suppose
So
I am
is is it for AP invoices or AR invoices?
APAR both.
Okay.
Okay. Suppose now I'm using 4 digits of the exchange rate. Let us take I'm using Indian rupees 83 2346545. Okay. Here what I'm using 4 digits. Sorry, 6 digit. And my customer is using only 2 digits. Okay, as 83.24. Now the invoice value is 12,000 sorry 13,265. Okay, this is
Okay.
invoice amount. Whenever I'm going to use the exchange, how the system will be calculated, this amount. So here you can see this. I'm using the 2 digits. Okay, if you can see the same figure amount, here you can see the calculation was there is a changes on here.
I see.
Here you can see this one. There are also 11, sorry, 1 lakh, sorry,
1 million.
yeah, oh, 11 lakhs, 4,132. Here also 11 lakhs, 4,178.62. Why? Because here, if you can see, there we have, different, this is, yeah, there we have, total 45 rupees is, variance because of just digits. Here, what I used to currency 83.24. Here, what I use 83.2365545. Because of this, the system no calculation there we have such much of that much of the differences. When you have such kind of differentiation, up to what amount it can be acceptable, we should have to check with our client. Our client will tell you the same you can use it. Now here you see this
I see.
one, number of the decimals in SAT catalogs you want to use. So if you want to use the 6 digit, if you enter the 6, when you are going to take your exchange rate, the system will take 6 digit, like 83.2365545 will take. If you want to take only 4 digits in the number of the decimals in SAT catalog, if you can enter as only 4, then the system will take only 4 digits in this place. Okay, now you can see this one, 83.2365, only 4 digit will take. Even if you enter 10 digit also, system it won't take 10, only will take 4 digits. So
I see.
depending on the client requirement, which one you want to take per currency specific, you should have to define in number of the decimals in SAT catalog, you have to update it in this place. Okay, so far as
Okay.
clear, any doubt?
No, no doubts. I think that's clear.
Yeah. So majority of the time, what are all the currencies you are going to use? Those currencies you should have to update. If I'm going to use only one currency as USD, I can update USD. If I'm going to use two currency INR and USD, you should have to update along with your INR as well. Okay. So once if it is completed, now if your client is doing multi-currency transaction, suppose if your client is doing Indian rupee currency, USD, GBPs, euros, different type of currencies, then the system should understand what is the exchange rate between the two currencies. So for that, we should have to provide the exchange rate. And these exchange rates is a global setup. Okay. Global setup in the sense, once if you did one configuration, if you want to use the same configuration for another company without creating a new setup, the same existing setup you can use. Okay. So this exchange rate types is a global setup. Due to that, we haven't created in DG01, even though exchange rate system. You can see, right?
Yeah.
This configuration we did not create, but this was created in another entity, even the it is shown. You
I
might have
see.
a question, Venkat, why Microsoft made it global setup? Do you have that question?
No, I'm assuming if they made it actually exchange rate as a global what do you call it setup simply because it's exchange rate, right? It cannot be specific to a company. It is exchange rate, right?
Exactly right. So if Microsoft is doing business in India, for all the 9 companies, the exchange rate will be the same. If in US they're having 10 entities, for all 10 entities, it will be the same exchange rate, it will be there. So for that, so Microsoft, what it is said, if you want to create a new, you can create. If you want to use existing, you can use existing as well.
I see.
Okay. Yeah. So for our company, we'll create new one as a DG01, uh, DG01 exchange rate types. Once if you update it, then you simply click on exchange rates. Here, you can simply update what is the no currency as USD, which currency you want to have translate as INR. Okay. This is about denomination. It's a how you are comfortable, which one you want to use, you can use it. So if I pay 1 rupee, will I get any dollars? No, right? If
No,
I pay 10 rupees, will I get any dollars? No. If
it
I
has
pay
to be
100
ready to.
rupees, at least I will get 1.2 cents,
Yeah,
right?
I get it.
So I can get 100. I'm going to take conversion of 100. Even you can take one also, but when you are going to translate, it will comes under 0.0000. To avoiding that one, you can use 100 as the denomination. So what is the exchange rate as an today? You can enter it. For $100, how many rupees you will get it? You would like to check.
Ready to.
Okay, USD to INR today. Once if you enter 100, you can see this one, 8313.40. You can update the same up here. So you can see this one. We just entered the value of 8313.40. Even though system has updated 4000, 4 digits is added. Why it is added? Any idea?
Because you have the 4 digits assigned in the beginning. Remember the how many
Yeah,
decimals?
right. Exactly right. In the SAT catalog, we have updated 4 digits. Due to that, the system will take default 4 digits. If you
Right.
updated 2 digits, then the system will accept only 2 digits. So majority of the time, when it comes to the exchange rate, majority of the client it used to take 4 digits only. How in your you are telling that you worked on the previous different ERPs, there it is using 4 digits or 2 digits?
It depends. Sometimes it's 4 digits, sometimes it's 3 digits, depending on the company what they want. Somebody wants 4 digits, somebody wants 6 digits. So it's really up to them. It's the initial setups. If you want 4 digits, you set it up in the beginning. If you want 2 digits, you set it up in the beginning. It's mostly 4 digits. Very
Yeah,
few
right. So
companies.
mostly 4 digits. Yeah, that decision it will be purely client. The client
Yeah.
is the king, and whatever he will say, accordingly, we will update, those decimal funds here. Okay. So today we discussed about this one, and what we can do that if you are free tomorrow morning, we will connect in the morning as well. Most probably, actually, what happened for me, same timing, 5 to 6, there is a one sync up call. So that is creating. So is